All right, welcome to our webinar, Everyone Plays, Why Your Students Should Be Participating with UREC. My name is Christine Self, Director for Family Outreach and Engagement with Parent and Family Relations, and I'll serve as the moderator for today's session. With us today are Scott Lair, Assistant Director with University Recreation, and Kate Nail, Coordinator for Member Services with University Recreation. We are excited to have all of you joining us today. As a reminder, we are conducting this session as a webinar. You should be able to see and hear us, but we cannot see or hear you. You will have the ability to ask questions using the Q&A feature. You should see that feature at the bottom of your screen, so feel free to post your questions throughout the webinar. We'll work behind the scenes to answer some of these, and there will also be some time at the end of the session for us to address your questions live. We are recording this session and posting it to our website so that you'll be able to review it again later or share it with others, or maybe even with your student. I'll also mail the recording link to the email that you used to register for the webinar. In our recent family engagement survey, we saw that families are very interested in learning about student involvement. Today's webinar is focused on helping your Red Raider find meaningful involvement opportunities with University Recreation. At this time, I will turn it over to Scott.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Scott Lair. I am the Assistant Director for Marketing and IT at Texas Tech University Recreation. And also with me is Kate Nail. She's our memberships coordinator here at University Recreation. And we thank you for coming and listening to us talk about University Recreation. And so the first thing we want to talk about is why UREC? Why is it important? Where should your students come? What facilities we have available? And so we want to talk about UREC. So why UREC, right? So we are a place on campus. It's actually part of our name, Recreation. There's so many things your students can do throughout the day and year that they are here at Texas Tech University. And so they have classes, they have homework, they have time with their friends at a residence hall or where they're living. But there is a lot of time in their day now for recreation. And so we want to be part of that time. And so we have a lot of things that are available for students that we'll go through today to let you know how your students might be able to participate with us, have fun with us, maybe go on some new adventures. And then really, it's called Everyone Plays. So we really feel that we have something for everyone, right? And so the first thing we want to talk about first as part of this slide is some of our facilities. And so we're not going to get really deep down into like, what type of treadmills we have or what machines we have, but we want to let you know some of the different facilities we have available that your students can come and swipe their IDs at and just start having fun and participating, right? And so part of recreation as a main part of who we are is physical activity. And so we have the Robert H. Ewalt Student Rec Center. And so that is our main facility on campus. That is 242,000 square feet of basketball courts and weight rooms, cardio equipment, fitness class centers, indoor running track. We have a lot of workout space. And so that's a base part of who we are. We want your students to come over and participate there. We are open 6 a.m. until midnight, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. on Saturday, and then noon to midnight on Sunday. And so it's really easy to come and have fun. Your students can bring friends to the rec center and participate just in some open play and free time, working out, going to a fitness class, and just playing some basketball maybe. And so that's the rec center. We also have some really great aquatic facilities. And so we have two of them. The one you see on your screen right here is the student leisure pool. That is a 645-foot lazy river deck space. Still today, even though it's about 10 years old, that facility is actually the largest in the nation for a college campus. And so we pride ourselves on the leisure pool. It's a really cool space. It's a lot of fun for students to come and hang out, have fun, swim a little bit, and just participate on an outdoor setting in a pool space. There's always one thing I always tell students during booths or time that they might come over to the rec center is there is Wi-Fi out there. So there's Wi-Fi out at the leisure pool. So your student can do some homework while they're out at the pool. Of course, we can't make them do that, but it's always available. So we want to make sure that students have the ability to have fun and work out there at the leisure pool. But that is it's a crowning piece of our facilities here at University of Recreation. The other side that's not on the slide then is the Aquatic Center. We have an Olympic size indoor pool as well. If any of you are maybe alumni, it's the big bubble right next to the rec center. It was actually the very first facility here for recreation on Texas Tech University campus. It was built in 1974 and opened up in 1975. So it's got a couple years on it, but it's a great facility. And it's one that students can use again all year round. When the pool outside is not open, the pool inside is always open and available. The next thing is the West Rec Turf Complex. We actually have a huge turf complex on the west side of campus, right off of 10th Street. It's available for students to play flag football, soccer, with line for lacrosse for our club lacrosse team, and also things like ultimate frisbee, and anything else that students want to do on an outdoor space in a controlled environment on our turf complex. And so that is where we have our intramural flag football season. And it's just a really cool place that opened up in 2015. And then Urbanowski Park, right around the rec center is Urbanowski Park. And that is where students can have fun. It's kind of our center of campus green space for hanging out, playing some basketball outside. We have 5 sand volleyball courts. There's spaces for hanging seating places, and we actually have a 9-hole disc golf course as part of Urbanowski Park. And so students can have fun and kind of participate, hang out, do homework outside in the pavilions, and then even play some disc golf. And so that is some of our spaces that we have available. Again, we hope your students can participate in those spaces as much as they want. But that really, we kind of thought everyone plays kind of entails some of the programming that we have here at University of Recreation. So we hope that you have taken a tour in the past of our facilities, but we want to kind of really program or center in on the programs we have available for your students that we want them to come and participate into. And so we'll kind of hit to the next slide. And so the very first one that we'll talk about, ways to engage. I made the slides and I fell out the foot. Sorry, we always want to make sure that students know how they can get a hold of us, reach us. We're open for talking to students at all times, whether it's through our website and social media. I'm the marketing guy, so I know that we get a lot of interaction through social media, Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and everything else. And so if your students want to get a hold of us, the @UREC TTU is our handle for all of the different social media channels that we have. And so that's always a way that we can engage. And I also saw a quick question is, do students need to make an appointment at the Lazy River? And the answer is no. Actually, as of right now, all of our facilities are available for use throughout the day. There's no times that they have to register for an appointment or anything else. It's all drop-in times to come in. During those first days of COVID, there was some things that we had to do to make an appointments, but all that is in the past right now, and everything is open for students at all times. So we'll head to the next slide. So intramural sports and sport clubs. So sports is kind of a very integral part of participating on campus. Intramural sports is that traditional sports experience on campus. It's your students having fun, playing with their friends, or maybe making new friends, playing on campus. So intramural sports is on campus. Everything is free for intramural sports. And so you kind of see our schedule right here for the spring semester. Right now, students are playing intramural basketball 5 days a week, all the way from Sunday until Thursday. We are totally full with intramural basketball every single night. We have about 220 teams that play intramural basketball right now. The next registration period is actually 4-on-4 flag football. That will happen right after spring break. And so intramural sports is in the fun side. We encourage your students to go out and meet new people. Maybe they're living in the residence halls, start knocking on doors in the res hall to meet new people and engage with the group of people that they live around, to build teams online, go and have fun and play. So intramural sports is kind of the fun side, right? It's 1 hour a week throughout the season, and then like maybe our classic series have a 3 or 4 week season, and then they have playoffs after that. Our modern series, we think modern series might be even more fun than our classic, and so it's more of a laid back atmosphere. And so for flag football, it actually be self-officiated, so we don't have officials. So your students will be out there participating and playing in the games, but they will actually self-officiate the game. And then there's no postseason or no tournament involved with that. So it's a longer season. And so it's a little bit more laid back and just more fun. The Flash Series is our drop-in or like short intramural sports, maybe 1 day or 2 days for a tournament or just a drop-in event. Right now we had archery quite a few times here this semester. We have a spike ball tournament coming up. Battleship will probably be when we were outdoors a little bit at the leisure pool, and then more archery. We also have lots of different sports in the fall, like tennis, table tennis. We had pickleball in the fall, dodgeball, and we're always adding new sports in to kind of see what students are wanting to do. And so each semester we kind of do different sports for our Flash series. And then kind of as they get more popular or kind of come back into style, they'll be on the schedule more and more often. The other side of sports here at University Recreation is sport clubs. So if you think of like intramural sports as your base level of sports here that everyone participates in, and then at the very top level at a university structure is athletics, where there's scholarships and D1 athletes. We actually don't do anything with athletics from a sports side here at University Recreation. The sport clubs kind of fits that middle portion where students are on a team, they have practices, and then we have like 25 to 30 right now student organizations that are student led, and they are actually more of a competition base. And so those 30 clubs practice, they have a coach or player coach, they have dues that you have to pay as part of being a part of that student organization, but then they play lots of different ways. They play locally, maybe it's other clubs that are here in the Lubbock area or the West Texas area. They play regionally, so they might play a tournament in Dallas against other Big 12 teams. They might play in Oklahoma, New Mexico, Colorado, Louisiana, and so they'll play other universities, and then even nationally. Right now, all 30 of our sport clubs actually have a national championship structured to them, and so some good examples are our club baseball team has a club college World Series that the top 8 teams in the nation go and play the College World Series every year. Soccer last fall, soccer is a fall sport here for club sports. We actually hosted the regional tournament that hosted all of the Texas, Louisiana, Colorado, New Mexico, Oklahoma teams, even went up to as far as Nebraska for teams. They all came down to Lubbock, Texas, played in a regional tournament, and then the top teams went to nationals. So both of our teams, both men's and women's soccer clubs, actually won tournament bids to the national tournament in Alabama for soccer. And so, clubs can be fun, they can be educational, or they can be really competitive too at the same time. And so, going to our website and seeing our club list, and then if you want some more information, the best way to do that is actually email the student president for that club. There are lots of clubs, they're all student led, so they can actually change things on the fly faster than I might know. So based on, if you want to know about dues or practice times or availability, reaching out to those club presidents is the best way to go. And so we also had a question about where are the basketball, baseball, softball, intramural fields and courts. So basketball is actually played here at the rec center. The baseball club team practices off campus at a baseball facility, but there is a softball complex on campus for intramural softball for that too. So I saw that question there as well. Kind of going on to the next program area is outdoor pursuits. So outdoor pursuits is maybe the best kept secret, but one that lots of students participate in at Texas Tech, I think. And so the outdoor pursuits area strives to show the outdoors to all students, whether it's through trips, instructional classes, and instructional classes and seminars. We have the rock climbing wall, which is a major portion of fun and an awesome facility that we have here at the University of Recreation, and then trips. And so this right here is our trip list for this semester. Right now, all of our registration right now is online, and I'm sorry, not online. It's actually in person at the Outdoor Pursuit Center. And so some of these are coming up still, like Guadalupe Peak. They actually are filling up pretty fast. And so if your students are interested in going on any of our trips, and this is not the complete list as well, it's for your students to go to the Outdoor Pursuit Center and sign up there at the OPC. We also have a 5-story rock climbing wall at the rec center. And so as you walk in, you'll see this huge rock wall that's available for climbing 6 days a week, generally from 3 p.m. until 9 p.m. And so there's a chance to do that. The grasshopper wall is actually a brand new thing that we have that just got installed the last week. It is actually a standalone rock wall that is for training and for teaching. It actually kind of cantilevers down and up, so it makes it easier or harder to climb on. And then you can actually, there's an app that's involved with the Grasshopper app that your students can use. And then they click on a route that they want to climb, and then the wall will actually light up and they can climb on different routes on the wall. So that's the Grasshopper wall. And then the last piece of the outdoor pursuits is gear is available for use, right? So we have all these trips that we take. We have a lot of gear that's used throughout the year. And actually your students can actually rent that on their own and go on their own adventures. And so that's the backpacks, the sleeping bags, if they want a canoe or a kayak, maybe cooking equipment. You can actually rent all those pieces of equipment from the Outdoor Pursuits Center, the shop, and actually go on your own adventures. And so there's lots of different ways to participate in the outdoors for your students to have a lot of fun. We'll head on to the next one. Fitness and wellness. So fitness and wellness is the fitness and wellness side of it, right? And so group fitness classes, right here are free fitness class schedule right now, anywhere from Zumba, BOSU, cardio, cardio boxing, yoga, Pilates, and spin. They're all free all the time. We do have some paid classes that are not on this list. This is our free class list. Right now we have CrossFit. We have a CrossFit box. We're one of 4 universities in the nation that have a CrossFit box that's certified. There's something new that's coming up. This is probably the first time that I've told any audience outside of our staff. We are working on an F45 facility that will be a licensed F45 training area that should open up this summer in time for the fall class to come back. And so we're one of a few universities in the nation that have an F45 box coming in. So that's a really cool thing. We also have personal training. And so if your students need personal training, we have a phenomenal program that has certified personal trainers that are students come in, and it starts at $25 per hour and actually goes down from there with a certified personal trainer. But let's say your students, they're into fitness or group fitness classes. They want to become a instructor. We also have national certifications that we have available that we have through the NASM and then AFA for group fitness. And so it's a really cool thing. We also have different services available. Body composition, we have what's called a Sika machine. Sika is a medical grade machine that students can, it's $5 per session, and it gives them a body composition analysis, how much water they have in their body, their muscle mass, all sorts of different diagnostics and analytics as part of a body composition piece. And so that's a really cool thing that we have as well. Then if you want to know anything more about Fitwell, their tag is at TTU Fitwell. So we'll head to the next one. And then one of the last things that's a big group piece is working for UREC. We are the second largest employer on campus, and we think students have the most fun here at University of Recreation, right? And so you can kind of see we actually have some session dates coming up, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the 23rd, 24th, 25th. We want students to know what positions are available to apply for all at one time. That way they're not applying for some job that's going to happen in 6 months or there's no availability. And so those 3 sessions are times for students to come in and hear exactly what's open and available right now for either late spring or probably for the summer as well. And so right now, almost all of our different areas are going to be hiring for the summer. And so even marketing staff, if you have graphic designers or social media students or photographers, I need marketing students for the summer. And so this is the best way for students to get a job here at University of Recreation. We do start at $9.25 per hour. So it's quite a bit above the minimum wage right now. And then we work with your students on their schedules. We know students have classes every day. And so we will work, maybe 2 hours at a time here, 4 hours at a time here. And most students start somewhere between 10 and 15 hours a week is kind of where they start at. There's also chances for promotion to supervisor positions and even trainers of other students as well. And we'll kind of hit to the next slide. Okay, so those are some big pieces about University of Recreations, but we wanted to kind of throw some things out that are happening right now. So this is early in March, right? So some things that we have going on right now. Coming up this Friday is men's night at the rec center. And so it's March 4th from 8 to 10 p.m. It's a night for guys to have availability. We'll have some teaching things, some men's issues that we can talk about. We'll have a man cave and free food. And so men's night is this Friday at March 4th from 8 to 10 p.m. The counterpart to that event is women's night at the rec center. So women's night will be April 8th, 2022. It was actually rescheduled from early February. That was that one snow day on a Friday. And so we had to reschedule our women's night event from that day to April 8th. And so there'll be fitness classes, some paddleboard yoga, door prizes, educational sessions, talk about women's health, how they can participate here at University of Recreation. Maybe it's an opportunity for them to maybe use equipment they don't know about, or I won't lie, there's a lot of young men that use our facilities every day, and sometimes women can be intimidated by that. And so we want women to be able to come in and have fun without any men there to learn about some different things that we have going. And then the leisure pool will probably open up early April. And so that we don't have a set date for that. April 4th is kind of the start of that. And then probably the first 2 weeks of April is the one that will open up. And then the last piece is bringing a friend. If your students want to bring a friend that maybe doesn't come to Texas Tech University, we get this question a lot. And so there's a $10 per day guest pass that they can buy, or a $40 per month guest monthly pass that they can purchase for a friend as well. So if they have a friend that doesn't come to Texas Tech University, but they want to work out together, that's something that they can do here on the spot. And so that's our presentation really quickly about University of Recreation. We left a lot of things out, but we'll kind of open it up for questions.
Yes, thank you very much. Please do keep your questions coming and we will get those answered for you. I've seen a lot of interesting questions come through the Q&A. And while we're kind of waiting to see if anyone has any questions, I did want to ask Scott, what's kind of the most exciting thing that you see with students using your facilities and taking advantage of some of these programs?
I think it's just that we do have something for everybody. No matter if they want to really work out and focus on their personal fitness, we have that every day. We have a lot of people that love to play intramural sports and that's their thing. And so we kind of have some dynasty trips or dynasty teams that have played a long time on intramurals. But really, I think it's just the breadth of activities that we have available. And so we have all those different areas have students that participate with them a lot, in very in depth in those positions and programs. And so it's really cool for students just to find their thing. And so I kind of see some questions popping up. And are trip dates and fees included online? I've not located in the information. That's a good question. I can actually put that up online later today to make sure that list is up online. But since we are doing in-person registration this semester, we just kind of decided not to put the trips up online as a big group because we wanted students to really jump into the Outdoor Pursuit Center to ask questions in person at UPC. But I will get those up online later today. The Intramural Golf, we've never done any long-term leagues with Intramural Golf, but we have done tournaments, either a double tournament or a singles scramble type Intramural Golf tournament. Golf just seems to be one of those sports that we kind of sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen.
And what about outreach to students who maybe missed out during that 2020 year when most things were closed? Can you
Sure.
describe how you're letting students know about these opportunities?
Sure. So, of course, if they come to the rec center, we have lots of promotions here at the facilities, social media, website. But one thing's actually available that I'm not sure where it is on the university website, but students that were actually here during that semester that we were closed, we opened up really quickly again in June of that year. But students that missed that half a semester, when they graduate, we can actually provide them with a discounted semester fee after they graduate and come back in and get a membership. There's actually a discount that will happen on that. So that's part of our system. And I'm not sure exactly what that is on the university website, but that's the bonus for that semester that we have available.
Great. Well, we are coming up on 12:30, but do keep your questions coming in the Q&A feature, and we will stay on to answer those as they come in. I do want to thank our presenters today. This has been really interesting information and great to know that there's all these wonderful opportunities for our students to get connected, do some things in person with other students, and really have a great time. One quick announcement: if you're on this webinar, you very likely already know this because you subscribe to our newsletter most likely, but we have announced the date for Family Weekend 2022 just this morning. That will be the weekend of October 28th and 29th when we play Baylor. So that's very exciting. And we just put the link in the chat on where to find out more about Family Weekend. And usually a free opportunity to check out the rec centers involved in Family Weekend. So we hope to set that up again coming up next year. So once again, thank you to our presenters. Do keep your questions coming in the Q&A. We will post this recording at the same website where you register for this webinar, and I'll send a link out to everyone who registered. So thanks very much. Have a great rest of your day.